Hi, good evening. My name's Tanil Harper. On my YouTube page, you might say Tanil Bailey. But I got married 2 years ago. And I started doing, probably just like a couple of months ago, I started doing arts and crafts. So it started like this. And this is my story and everything like that. I lost my son October 12th, 2019. So I was walking around with a lot of hurt, a lot of anger, just a lot of frustration. Wanted something to do because I threw myself into my job. I would just work and come home and I would go to sleep. The detectives really wasn't to help and everything like that. And the backstory about this is that October the 12th, on a Saturday, me and my family was supposed to go down the road to go see my aunt because she wasn't doing so good. And they were like, well, she probably will pass any day now. So if y'all want to come down and, just peacefully just be respectful and just say y'all goodbyes or whatever the case may be before that day actually come and everything like that, you're more than welcome to. Now, I was all in. And I'm sitting at my apartment. I just moved. Me and my husband separated within not even within a year. And this is my story. And when I'm not doing this for sympathy or whatever the case may be, this is my story. They the kids outside screaming. I don't have little kids, but they the kids in the neighborhood that's screaming. So if y'all hear screaming in the background. So, anyway, that day, I talked to my son that morning. And then probably like 2-3 hours later, I called him just to make sure he was okay because I heard the police sirens racing down the street. And I just, with any mom, you call and make sure that, your kids are okay. Both my daughters were at work. He was the only one at his house and everything like that because they had their own house. And I called and they told me my son was shot. They took him to Temple Hospital here in Philadelphia. And he died at 1:26 p.m. Saturday afternoon. He died at the hospital that he was born at. And that was a double hurt. So I wanted something to do because I would just come home, eat, and go to sleep. And that was basically my life. Like, eat, sleep, in my life. Eat, sleep, in my life. And everything like that. And I said I need something to do. So I started looking up for punching bags because I wanted something to take my anger out on. Like, I was really upset because I wanted to, I don't know, I want my son back. So it's nothing that I can do. And my son's detective, he called me when, probably a couple of days after my son passed, or a day after my son passed, and was like, oh, well, just wanted to let you know your son was selling weed. And I'm in my head, what does that have to do with my son being dead? Because last time I checked, no one was dying over selling weed. Even if my son was, I didn't know. I didn't live with him and everything like that. I had my own place. They had their own place. But I wasn't far away from my kids where, they had to take a bus or a train. All we had to do was just walk and we're right there. When I say 2 minutes tops, I'm at my kids, they at my house. That's how close we were. So I needed something to do to get out of this funk and this depression. So I was going to therapy. And therapy was helping. My therapist, Lee, he was awesome and everything like that. Great guy. But he left. And then they gave me another lady. Her name, well, not another lady. A lady named Madalena. And she was good. We did all our therapy sessions together, except the ones that I missed because I was at work so long, because I worked long hours and all this stuff because I work in the food industry. And I'm a kitchen leader. So, I had to be there. It's like a kitchen supervisor job. But I had to be there, and some days I couldn't leave and whatnot. Boom. Or sometimes I just forgot that I had an appointment that day. But the ones that I did attend before Corona hit, I enjoyed them, even on the phone. She's an awesome therapist. Her name was Madalena, and she was very, very good. She listened. She's a champion for, mental health and all this sort of stuff. And, a lot of people that's in my circle that when my son passed away, and everything like that. Like Miss Carmen, just like she's a godsend. She's the most sweetest case manager you can have, and I love her to death and whatnot. And so I was just looking for things to do. So I started doing crafts, and arts and crafts. I was doing like the diamond art first, because I felt like it was soothing and everything like that. And I was like, oh wow, this is really cute. I like this. I can do it and everything like that. Boom. Got tired of that real quick. So I said, well, I want something to take my anger out on, all this other stuff, because I was just angry. I was mad. I was mad because my son was murdered. I was mad because my marriage fell apart. I was mad because I'm at my daughter's place, and then I'm at my place, and then I'm here, and I don't know quite where I fit in anymore, and all this other stuff, because my son gone. So I'm trying to see how much time I was on here for, like 5 minutes. So I'm trying to just make it simple as possible without whatever. But anyway, I started doing crafts. So I was just doing glasses and just practicing, and I got real good with the wine glasses and stuff like that. So then I said, ooh, I want to do the resin tumblers and everything like that. But I was scared to do them, put it off, all this sort of stuff. So I said, well, I'm going to stick to the wine glasses and everything like that, because, boom. Then I was thinking like, oh, well, maybe I'm late, because every YouTube video that I looked at was like 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, all this sort of stuff, boom. So when the government gave out the stimulus money, I had my own money. I paid all my bills, all this other stuff, boom. I was blessed to be able to be working through the whole pandemic and all this other stuff, because my job wasn't shut down. It was considered an essential business and everything like that. So whatever money I had saved, I just used that to buy me a Silhouette Cameo 4. And I was getting mad at that, and I bought that in April, and I got mad at it. Like I don't know, it's not cutting right. What's going on? The vinyl is cutting, but it ain't cutting to, like, it's not how all the videos on YouTube is doing. Like, I can't weed, I can't do all this other stuff. Like, I'm sitting up here watching tutorials and getting pissed off because I don't know how to do none of this stuff. Reading, yeah, not really my thing, but yeah, I had to sit there and read. But I like, for somebody, I like to see things and see how they work and all this, how they operate. Sorry for stuttering. So I got mad. I put it away for like a month, and I just came back to it, and I just like, I'm gonna do this. So I finally got it and whatnot, and I started crafting to ease my soul, to get me out of depression, and to take this hatred off my heart. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, the person who murdered my son, I hate this person to death and whatnot. I really do. And I was like thinking about forgiveness and everything else like this, and I was like, nope, not ready to forgive yet, all this other stuff. No, because I just wanted to get through the process of grieving, and I wanted to rush everything. So I said, no, we're not going to do that. So I started crafting. So this is one of the things I made. I made a mug. I did that. I really like it. I started like that. Well, this wasn't the first thing I started, but I really got the hang of that. And then, and then this was one of the first things I did. Probably, with my Silhouette, that's my son's name. Green is his favorite color, all this other stuff. Boom. I did another mug. I did a couple of glasses. Like, I did mugs. I have like mugs and wine glasses in my cabinet because I want to sell them. And everybody keep telling me to get an Etsy page. I did this for my cousin. It's a water bottle and it has her name on it. One of the guys at my job, they bought glasses off me. Like, I've been doing this for a while. I just wanted to get better at it. So, but they've been selling, but I don't know how to market it. I don't know how to, promote my things, all this other stuff. I go on Facebook. I show them step by step on how I make it, what I do, what I use, all this other stuff and everything like that. I also made this because one of the guys at my job wanted a Beauty and the Beast themed kind of wine glass. So I'm like, well, I don't, with the vinyl on a wine glass, all this other stuff. Yeah, but no, I can do that and make it. I could have put like rose petals on it, like, like they're falling into the rose or whatever the case may be, but I didn't do that. I just took a part of rose and hot glued it on there, put some glitter on the stem. I still didn't get a chance to seal it yet. It's still, not sealed. And then my prized possession, I just learned this yesterday. I was scared to death and whatnot. And I did it, and I'm proud of myself. I did this tumbler for the first time, y'all. It came out gorgeous. I was just so happy and all this other stuff. And I really want to sell these and everything like that, and I just don't know how. So, and then I started this today. I'm trying to get better with blinging out stuff, and it look cute. Like, girl, I'm a bad hoe, I'm a bad bitch, I'm gonna drink my stuff. So that's what I've been doing in grieving for my son. Found out I'm going to be a grandmom, first time grandmom. So it's a lot of things going on in my life, and I'm happy for my daughter and everything like that. I'm happy for my oldest daughter as well, and all this stuff. Like, my daughters are amazing. My stepdaughters are amazing. My stepson, he's about to get married and have a baby of his own. And even though me and my husband are not together, I can still consider them as my kids because I have been a part of their lives for a very long time and all this stuff. And if they need me, I'm here for them. I have no beef, no animosity to anybody that my husband is dating or who he's with or who has he been with before me. This is my story. This is my testimony. This is just me. Everything that I'm doing, I sold a couple of wine glasses and stuff like that. I sold 15 wine glasses for a baby shower. A first birthday. And I'm doing it. And the only way that I'm getting through it is because I know my son is rooting for me to do these things. And, always, first and foremost, God had my back through all this. He has my back through all this. It been days that I don't even want to go to work. It been days when I didn't want to get out of bed. I turned my phone off because I didn't want to be bothered with nobody. I would just sit at the table and just craft all day. I would craft. I'm like, I'm going to get this. We going to figure this out. I'm going to do this. I'll watch tutorials all day because I was grieving. I needed something to do and everything like that. And being at work, it's all fine and good. We can't listen to music at work. We can't, have our ear pods or ear beams or whatever the case may be in our ears, all this other stuff. And I'll be so much in my head that people at my job really don't know that I'll be crying because I miss my son so much and whatnot. I really do miss my baby. And I want justice for my son. So I hope this video helps somebody. For those who have lost someone to gun violence. My son wasn't a drug dealer. My son wasn't that in the streets, all this other stuff. He actually had a job. He didn't have no kids. He went to work. He was, he was proud to do his thing. He was going back to go get his GED. And it be the ones that are jealous of you because you don't want to be a part of the, that life that actually kill you and everything like that. My son was the first person I have ever fell in love with, love. That was my heart. That was my joy and everything like that. It was a blessing to have him in my life for 20 years. And I miss him. I tried group therapy. Not group therapy, what is that? The support group. I tried that. The ladies are there. They were amazing. It's just that it was some things I just didn't like. For me, it didn't sit well with me. So we were supposed to do a letter writing campaign to the politicians, and I didn't like that. I felt well, how can we go to a bunch of politicians when the problem is really in our own community and everything like that. And, you know, it has to start with the community first before we can take it to somebody else and everything like that. Like, we really need to have a talking to in our community, because it's happening in our communities. It's not happening down at City Hall. It's happening in our community. So I feel like we have to take our issues to the community, then we take it to the politicians. You have to get enough people in the community to be on your side and understand, hey, you have kids, you have grandkids, you have sons, daughters, you have babies, you want them to be able to play outside and, you know, just grow up like you grew up. Not worrying, not looking over your shoulder, not, you know, every time you hear a pop, pop and whatnot, you're not scared that it's, you know, you're not just jumping to the conclusion that it's gunshots and everything like that. So many people died in Philly this year. So many people died. So many young kids died this year. So the whole purpose of my YouTube channel was just supposed to, you know, just to, like, for women who's going through something, women, men, kids, teenagers, anybody, to understand, like, y'all not the only people out there that's going through stuff and whatnot. And you know, it's like therapy for me. Crafting is therapy for me. And if I can help you by sharing my story, because it is therapy, like telling somebody what's going on in my life and whatnot, boom. About my son name was Gianni. Gianni Harper. Like, handsome boy, dark skin, beautiful smile, just, you know, wavy hair, just as chocolate as he was, like Wesley Snipes black, but probably bring it up a little lighter. Like, that was my heart. I prayed for this little boy. I prayed to God that I wanted to have a boy. I had a daughter first, I had a boy, then I had another girl. And my youngest looked like my son. And my daughter looked just like her brother and whatnot. And she's pretty. And my oldest daughter looked like her father. So, on that note, yeah. Like, I used to pray for moms that lost kids to gun violence or fires, or, you know, never thinking that it would actually hit me in my own home, that I would lose my son and whatnot. And then I sat up here and I prayed to God today and said, God, if I knew that it was going to be open season on black men by black men, I would never pray to have a little boy. And that's a shame, because, like, black men are dying at the hands of black men at a rate that is fucking ridiculous. Like, rappers are getting shot, and they all black men. And, you know, so to your mom, to them parents that lost someone to just violent crimes, period. Like, trust me, I understand your pain, frustration, what you're going through on a regular basis, all this other stuff. Trying to be strong for your family, and trying to be strong for yourself mentally and physically. Trust me, I understand. But I just started doing crafts because, one, it helps. Like I said, it's therapy for the soul for me. And I wanted to sell them. And maybe I'll raise enough money to buy somebody Christmas gifts. And, you know, and I wanted to sell them for myself as well. To, you know, have a little side hustle just to make some extra money and everything like that. And, you know, really can't go nowhere with this pandemic going on. But, you know, that's to show off my little talents and stuff like that. But I'm going to show y'all again what I made. Since we've been in this pandemic and since I've been dealing with the grief of my son, I made this. And I made a couple of other glasses and mugs too. I made one that had an Eagles girl on it. And I made a glass that has an elephant on it. And that has resin at the bottom. I made another mug that has faith on it. I made this too. I made a wine bottle from his, not a wine bottle, a water bottle from his Carmen, the same as this one. I made that one. That was my case manager and whatnot. This is my cousin's. Like, I started this today. I finished it today because all I do is sit in my kitchen and I craft all day. Like, all this stuff right here in the corner, that is all my stuff. And it's in the kitchen. And that's all my stuff. That is my silhouette machine. I don't know if you can see it. But yeah. And I sit here with my slippers and my nightgown on and I craft. And then I'm starting a new tumbler for my daughter. Is like layered different color blues, and I hope it really comes out pretty. But I hope this video helps someone. I hope that if you have any crafting ideas and everything like that, send them on my page. All this other stuff, because I'm here for y'all. Even if you leave a message and say, hey sis, I ain't lose anybody, but I'm just going through some things, and whatever the case may be, like, I'm here for you. Trust me, I've been through it all. Like relationship problems, job problems, kid problems, money problems, whatever problem you have, I probably have been through it. The only thing I didn't really, go through is, losing a parent. And I thank God that I have both my parents. I lost both my grandparents and everything like that, so I miss them very much. But I hope this video helped. And why not? When you stressing and everything like that, find something to do. There's a lot of things out there to do instead of just being depressed. And even if you need somebody to talk to, like, just one day inbox me and I'll just talk to you. If you need somebody to talk to, and why not? Good night. Thank y'all for being with me.